Welcome, friends. Today, we are doing another fragrance rotation video for the week ending the 20th of November, 2022. Chilly. And it has been chilly this week, as my fragrance picks will indicate. It's been a strange week. It's been an eclectic week. I've worn some stuff that I haven't worn for a while this week. It's been cold, it's been wet, it's been a bit miserable. So I've gone for warmer stuff. Getting to the point now where I'm going to have to sort of bring forth the real heavy hitters. You think some of these at the front are heavy hitters? Wait till you see what I've got lurking at the back. Some outrageous stuff. Anyway, we'll start at the beginning. And on Monday, I wore this. I don't know if you can see that. You can't see that at all, can you? Of course you can't. Nightmare. This is Escada pour Homme. This is not one of Escada's greatest, in my opinion. I've actually got a bottle, but it's over there. Anuj was kind enough to send me a further tester when I broke the bottle of this. I had a bottle of this, and then I dropped a Habit Rouge on it. And the Habit Rouge was fine, but the bottle of Escada pour Homme was not, and it was smashed. But there was it was at an angle like that, so some had pooled at the bottom, some was saved. So I managed to decant it into one of these. And these, frankly, have better sprays than most of the bottles in the collection, to be honest with you. But there we are. So I managed to save it, and then Anuj very kindly replaced it for free, which was very nice of him. This is cinnamon, carnation. It's not one of their better efforts, in my opinion. I mean, it's nice. It's got that slightly boozy thing at the top as well, but it's not like a whiskey or something. It's like a what is it? It's like a cognac. It's cognac at the top. It's very particular booze. A little bit vanillic, cardamom, lavender, possibly. It's good, don't get us wrong, but it's a little bit underwhelming. I don't know what secondhand prices are. I see it's got that slightly winey thing going on at the top, something like a fruit as well. Some kind of citrus. I can't remember which one it is, but it's good, don't get us wrong. But I wouldn't go out and pay big money for it. It's not like Magnetism. Escada were a good house, but they're not worth the secondhand, the vintage prices that they're going for. You know? Sort of fits in with my theory that people who were young at the time when these were popular, or when these were being sold, often grow up 15, 20, 25 years later and think to themselves, I want to smell like I did when I was 18 again, and I'm willing to pay for it. And that's where the aftermarket prices come from. It's just a theory, but I think it's a pretty good theory, actually. Next, let me just uncork this motherfucker. Oh, something completely different from Christian Dior, one of the Collection Privées. Again, you can't see that at all, can you? Nightmare. I should have used the new camera for this. There, that'll do. This is Patchouli Imperial. Absolutely incredible. I love this stuff. It's so thick and rich and dense. Syrupy patchouli. Sandalwood. Creamy benzoin. One of the last great Dior Privés, you know. La Collection Couturière Parfumière, from that line, by Demachy. Little bit spicy, just a tiny bit. It's got coriander in it or something like that. It's got this like slight warmth to it, you know. Little bit peppery, little bit. It's lovely. It's absolutely gorgeous. Brilliant for like the low temperatures when you want something warm and creamy to like warm you up. It feels like there's like benzoine milky kind of vibes going on as well. Excuse me whilst I hydrate from a bottle today. But yes, this is Patchouli Imperial, something completely different. I might be wearing this again this week because I very much enjoyed it. This is a 2014 bottle. Next. Oh, where's my muslin cloth? Oh, it's over there. Nightmare. Fingerprints on this. This is Lagerfeld Cologne. This is one of the older bottles when it was still called the Cologne Spray, not Lagerfeld Classic. It hadn't had long enough to become a classic at this point, so it was still Lagerfeld Cologne. This is gorgeous. You can buy this cheap as chips now as well. This was introduced to me by my brother from another mother, Ramsey, who absolutely loved this stuff. Took me a little bit of a while to come to fully appreciate it more. I think he loves it more than I do, but I really like this stuff. It's the perfume Al Pacino wore in Scarface. Helped him get into character, which I think is a really good idea because fragrances could evoke that kind of thing, you know. This is sandalwood, amber, iris, vanilla, and aldehydes at the top. Gives it this kind of sparkly feel at the top. I should really review this. It's really, really good. It's very well made. It's completely different from anything you'll find out there today. Tobacco, amber, musky, smoke moss in there as well, but it's not the main focus. Gives it this kind of smoky kind of vibe. Absolutely fantastic. It sort of smells like the colour of the juice. It's got this warming, ambery kind of richness. It used to make me feel a little bit nauseous, just a little bit, because of how it had this quite narcotic sort of effect. It was thick and rich and dense, you know, but it is very good. I highly recommend that you seek it out. It is a cheapie these days. You can pick this up for next to nothing. And next on the channel is one of my favourites. One of the best from the collection. Absolutely stunning. Beautiful. And this is Tom Ford's Tobacco Oud. Boozy at the top. Thick, wet, dense, shredded tobacco at the base. It's not tobacco leaf, it's tobacco. It's like prepared tobacco. Do you know when you buy pouches of tobacco and it's still damp, you know? Or you go to a tobacconist, not that they exist very much anymore. It's got that kind of tobacco in it. No oud as such, but this warm, rich sweetness that runs right the way through the base. It is Amber Absolute with a tobacco note. If you've smelled Amber Absolute and you've smelled this, you will know that they are similar. Amber Absolute has the skeleton that the tobacco and the oud. So that's what is it? What is it? I say that. Tobacco Oud is Amber Absolute. No, Amber Absolute is Tobacco Oud without the tobacco or the oud. you know. Sounds like a very strange thing to say, but the spice, like if you smelled it, you know what I mean. The spices and the skeleton is there. You can expect to see some Amber Absolute action on my channel in the coming weeks as well. But this is absolutely gorgeous. It's got that kind of sandalwood, rich denseness. Tobacco note is beautiful. Excuse me whilst I hydrate. And yes, you can expect to see this more on the channel as well. On Friday, I decided to keep going in a similar direction by wearing one of my favourite ever fragrances again. And this is Angel Men, not Amen, Angel Men. This is the original. And it is massive. Massive. Ethyl malthol. Massive overdose. I never realised how much or how similar it is to Homme in that sort of respect. This massive, sweet power bomb overdose. But it's balanced with this outrageous rubber tar note. You know? Like it smells like tarmac. You know, the stuff they put on roads, asphalt, I think they call it in America. It might be two different things. But it's got that kind of vibe. It's got that road surface, rubber vibe at the top, very strong. And then the sweetness is outrageous in it, though. Got a more than passing resemblance to music for a while for me. Obviously this came first, so I should really say that the other way around. Caramel, lavender, big, sweet. There's no pineapple in it, but there is mint in it. An all-round bombastic, outrageous fragrance, really. You know? Absolutely fantastic. To yesterday. And yesterday I wore something completely different. Something with absolutely zero sweetness. None. Less than none. Minus sweetness. And that is Gucci Guilty Absolute. You can see the dent I've put in this bottle. I love this stuff. That said, it is only a 90ml bottle. It's a weird size. I've got some backups though, because I do think they're going to get rid of it. This is papyrus, dry, papery, leather, vetiver kind of thing, you know, very dry, very smoky. It's an absolutely gorgeous fragrance, to be honest, but it's not the type of fragrance that you would wear to go out and please anybody else, you know. It's perfect for November weather, when it's getting colder, when it's leading to the colder months, December, January, February, you know. So I would recommend you tried this. Most people probably have tried it and thought better of it, to be honest with you. But it's an oddball. This is one of the first fragrances that was released under the directorship of... Oh, God, what was he called? I forget what he's called. The Gucci artistic director who released the private line that they've just done as well, wanted to take the fragrances in a much more artistic direction, which is what he's done with these. Gucci Guilty Absolute is the best of the line by far, in my opinion. The bottles, I actually really like the bottles. The bottles are really easy to hold. They're very ergonomic. Cap's good, spray's good. I really like this. A little bit intimidating to wear for the first time because you remember it's very medicinal. It's got this kind of medicine hospital floor kind of thing going on. But it just works, don't ask. It just works, just try it. I think you can still get it in stores, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was discontinued. And it's the type of fragrance that'll be worth a fortune in 20 years' time. And last but not least, today's scent of the day. And today's scent of the day is a fragrance I don't know if I've worn while I've had the channel. I might have worn it once or twice, but it'll have been a while. And this is Musk Ravageur. You'll have to trust us because you can't say I'm sorry about the light. There's nothing I can do about the sun. It's at a funky angle. But here we are. It'd be great for lighting, but I've also got the light on as well. Excuse me whilst I hydrate. Ah, tremendous. The bottle's making big noise today. Anyhow, to me this is little touches of lavender, a lot of cinnamon, a shit ton of musk, a shit ton of vanilla, and some sandalwood. That's what I get out of this. There are other notes like, I don't know, apparently there's oud in it, or what's the other thing they call it, gaiac wood. Cloves, don't get any clove from it. Let's have a smell. Yeah, I don't get any clove from it. It's the original, it's one of the original Frederick Malle releases. So, I'm a fan of Frederick Malle, to a point. To a point. Some strange things going on. That Uncut Gems absolutely soured me on the whole brand. It's awful. But this is one of the originals and one of the ones that made the brand famous. Apparently it was much skankier and much darker and a bit pissy and a bit like underside of like an animal, you know what I mean? Like smelly skin, that kind of thing, furry. It's not like that anymore. It's much more vanillic. It's much more creamy now. Don't think I'm going to get a bottle, but I am determined. I've got quite a few of these smaller little 10ml decant things. I'm quite determined to get through them. I'm going to try and get through some of my smaller bottles before I start working on the bigger ones, but we'll see how it goes. And that's it. Yes, I've waffled on for quite long enough. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. I will see you again soon.